Right, so we're here with Steve and Chris of Wolf Club fame. Welcome, guys. We're really pleased to have you with us.
Thanks for having us. Good to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have you guys. We're really, really excited to have you performing for us next summer. Going to be obviously co-headlining the event, which is fantastic. We're going to open up with a question that we've asked everyone else tonight, which is to just sort of see if you can tell us, I'm hoping you can tell us, because if you can't, then we're in trouble. But what is it, that defines like Wolf Club as a band? What is it what's your message? What do you stand for? What's the vibe you're trying to give off to listeners and fans?
Yeah, so I think we try to make sort of like a retrowave, indie rock kind of pop music. The band's Chris and myself, I'm Stephen. We kind of just trying to write as many tracks as we can, try to write songs that we really, are passionate about, that we love, hope that other people feel the same sort of way. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but, it doesn't stop us from trying.
Yeah, and the same, just sort of like fun, pop, loud, West Coast driving, sunset, stars, all that sort of stuff. Me and Steve have been in bands together for a long time. And lots of different bands as well, but this is the one, like Wolf Club is where it's worked the best. So I hope, like Steve just said, it gives off those vibes of sunsets and stars and good times, I guess.
How did you get into sort of the more nostalgic sort of vibe originally?
I think it was me really, wasn't it? I think initially. So I sort of, I've always been into synthwave since sort of like the Valerie Collective sort of days of like Anorak and early Rust Chimes, college, all that kind of stuff. And then like the origin of like New Retrowave, when that started, the YouTube channel, I was like massively into it, but listened to it, but didn't really know how to write it or anything. So I was like mainly writing on the guitar and different sort of electronic stuff that we were doing. And then I just kind of tried my hand at it and then started to send demos to Chris. And then luckily he enjoyed the music demos, and then started to write some vocals to it, and then kind of built it from there basically.
Yeah, the same. Like, absolutely. It's strange because I think before Wolf Club, we were sort of trying to be, I guess, like indie rock, post-punk, whatever, like Sonic Youth, Smashing Pumpkins, Block Party we loved as well. And then I remember I mean, it's the classic. I think it was the Midnight that you sent me, SD, and I would listen to a couple of tracks and I was like, what the hell is this? I didn't understand what it was, didn't know what it was. And then every single track, I remember getting Magic by FM Attack and not knowing, again, like, what is this genre? I don't know what this is. And then every single track that Steve was sending me, and Tim, who joins us live, was sending me, I just absolutely loved and just fell in love with the whole vibe and that world. And then we started trying to make it, and hopefully that comes across.
Yeah, that's really cool because I kind of started out with that. I think it was the Drive soundtrack and that Kavinsky track, Nightcall, obviously. But then that searching for synthwave sent me down that YouTube tunnel, which got me to New Retrowave, which is obviously where you guys are now. Which must be a fantastic feeling to go from watching those videos and learning about the genre to suddenly, now you're part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a dream come true because it's kind of been like my online home for so many years. I used to check out every single video every single day that they uploaded something. I submitted songs that I admit weren't good enough for probably about 5 years before we finally managed to get a song on there. And then it's kind of happy coincidence. I sent one song, which 10 really liked, and then from there I had like a whole album ready, or me and Chris, sorry, had a whole album ready of other tracks to sort of submit. And then I kind of sent him one file of the whole album as like an MP3 and said, if you like this, we've got this album that we're trying to find someone to release. And then luckily he responded quite quickly and said that he liked it. So yeah, then and that was Infinity. So that was the first album of them, which was really good.
That is great.
Guys.
Yeah, so actually, for all those other people who are getting their submissions not accepted, it can end in a happy way if you keep persisting and you stick to your guns.
Hopefully, it won't take 5 years for you, but
no.
Yeah.
Well, you can put in a good word for everyone as well now that you're on the inside.
Apparently, yeah.
So you guys are playing at Outrun the Sun in Derby next month, and in November you're in the Black Heart in Camden. Are you guys excited to be back and doing live events after many months of, hiatus of live stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. We were saying earlier, it's been. I mean, it will have been nearly 2 years since we played live. We played November 2019 in the Camden Assembly. We supported Ollie Ride, and it was amazing. It was a full house, and we just sort of felt like that was a really good springboard to start playing more shows. And then the world collapsed, and me and Steve have been in lots of different bands, and live performances have always been such a massive part of what we do and what we love. A massive reason why I'm in a band. So can't wait to play all those things. So Outrun the Sun and Camden, and then playing with you guys. Just can't wait to get back on stage, and also to see the other acts as well. Just can't wait.
So I mean, you guys have had like a couple of big releases this year, and not one but two, like back-to-back releases with Just Drive 1 and 2 on new retrowave. Is the show next year, can we expect to see it heavily filled with tracks from those albums, or are you going to have more of an eclectic mix of all of your music that you've created throughout, your history as a band? What can we sort of expect, you think, musically?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a bit of a mix, I imagine. So I think we've even played before, like tracks from Just Drive Part 1, excuse me, and Part 2 before the release. So they've kind of been a part of our sort of sets for a while. But I think, I think it's going to be kind of a mixture of like probably tracks from going back as far as Chasing the Storm, maybe a couple from Infinity, a few from Frontiers, a few from Runaways, and then try and pick the ones that work the best for Just Drive Part 1 and 2 as well.
I think we've even got a couple of new tracks, Steve, floating around.
We could, we're thinking about it, aren't we? We've booked rehearsal space tomorrow, so we're going to try them out and see how those new tracks go. It might be disastrous, so in which case, we'll scrap the whole idea. Won't release them, throw them to the bin. But
do you tend to cater do you tend to cater for individual shows? Like, do you have like a set list rolled out that you go, this is our tour, this is what we're going to do, or do you sometimes pick out individual shows and go, we really want to do something a bit different for this show because of the vibe or anything?
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, sorry, Steve, you go.
I think. I mean, it sounds terrible. I don't think we've ever actually played the same set list twice, like entirely the same ever. I think we've always kind of like dropped this track, put another track in. What do you think, Chris? I think we've probably always kind of mixed and matched different bits and see what works at the time.
Yeah, I think when we first started playing live as Wolf Club and we only had 8 tracks to pick from, it was a little bit trickier. But now, we're fortunate enough position that we've got 6-7 albums to choose from.
Well, you wrote like about 59 tracks just this year. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. In lockdown, in the world of lockdown, we were writing, every day. So, and I think sometimes we'll write a track, Steve, won't we? And we'll go, actually, you know what? That will be a banger live. We know, it will, or we feel it might. Sometimes it isn't, but at least we'll get that vibe from it, and we'll try and maybe write it with that in mind. Sometimes, not all the time, that it works out like that, but for sure, it's something recently, at least, that we've had in mind.
Yeah, because there's always going to be those tracks that have a certain energy that just do sort of transpose to like a live event and work really well. And there's some other ones, it's not always the case, but often I find the slower ones don't always translate as well, but it can depend. There's ways you can sort of play around with them to make them sort of like build and hit the right, moments and everything, but sometimes we kind of like to go fast and hard kind of thing with the live songs.
Do you find yourself sometimes adapting tracks for live? It's like, can you sometimes take a slow one, we're just going to add a bit more of a dancey beat and speed it up a bit just for the live, just to see what happens, see how it goes down?
Yeah, we've definitely done that. I think a few of the ones for the next sort of like run-up of live events that we've done and that we're going to do are kind of like, tweaked various bits. Chris sometimes asks for a bit of a longer intro in some tracks, so I have to kind of meld that in. I think pretty much every track that we have, it's never just the instrumental version, and then, we play over the top of it. There's always elements that we tweak and play with. So we've obviously got the live vocals from Chris, live guitars from me. And then I do tweak every single sort of like backing track and then DJ track that we have. I always tweak the drum tracks within the mix to make it sound different live, because when we first started, I remember thinking that like the drums just were kind of like soft and, you know, didn't really have that beat and the kind of like, you know, didn't drive the tracks well enough and didn't kick enough. So yeah, every single track that we do live, I've got like a different version that I've made bespoke to sort of like make it bang a bit more and, you know, really kick, which sometimes works and sometimes the sound engineers get a bit annoyed because can blow the speakers out when the kick drum pounds in and, you know, what have you, but it's worth it. We're often lucky enough that the venues we play has like a screen behind us. So, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen like, any of the sort of the animation sort of things that we've put on Facebook and Instagram and things like that. Like the Fever Dream music video, for instance, has this amazing animation of like a Lamborghini car racing through the sunsets and like cliffs and mountains and all this kind of thing. So we've been lucky enough that in some of those events we've been able to have that as like an animated loop in the background or like different visuals like that. So that's kind of can be like a nice sort of like visual touch. And then there's usually three of us on stage. We've got Tim, the DJ, who sort of mixes tracks together live. Then I play the guitar, and then Chris is on vocal duty. And that's kind of how we play it for the most part.
It's something we've worked on over the last sort of couple of years, because I think within the retrowave, synthwave, whatever you want to call it, live scene, like the aesthetic is important, and it's something we've tried to. I mean, sometimes even down to our outfits or whatever it is, just to to add a little bit of aesthetic and vibe or whatever you want to call it is important. Like I think of the synthwave like live shows I've seen, it grabs me for sure when there's something else going on other than the music. Well, I mean, obviously the music's important too, of course, but I like it when I'm looking at something sparkly or colourful or whatever it is. I like it. So that's something we're working on tomorrow in the studio to see if we can get something down that looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a big part of this scene, isn't it? You know, like almost all live acts, you know, even if they're not particularly, even like the not so accomplished like musicians that tend, you know, maybe they DJ their stuff a bit and things like that, but there is a good emphasis on the aesthetic. So yeah, we're going to be very excited to see what you bring for the show next summer. I mean, what is it, do you think you guys, or what things do you think you're looking forward to most about playing Hotline Bristol then next year?
I'm looking forward to seeing Nina perform, because I've never managed to catch her before. So that's, I mean, that's one of the fun things about the Hotline Bristol event. The Outrun the Sun event's a similar sort of thing. Whenever you play these things, you've always got like a good mix of different acts you can enjoy before you go on, to the point that sometimes we forgot that we're actually even playing. Like, you know, we kind of go and watch the support acts and go, oh, these guys are good. Which happened a few times. So, like Lost Outrider, we watched once, and then yeah, we kind of forgot that we were, you know, in half an hour it's like, we need to get ready. We can't stay here watching. We need to go backstage, getting stuff, you know, checking guitars are tuned and all the usual kind of stuff you have to go
We've
through.
got to remember that when we're organising as well, that like we actually have to make sure this thing's running smoothly and not just stand there enjoying it.
Absolutely. It's more difficult at a big sort of festival in like a field in England or something, because like then you can really get swept away, because you can be in a completely different like part of like the whole festival, and then you go, hang on, we need to be somewhere in 20 minutes and it's a 40-minute walk, and then we're about to run across several fields to get there for the sound check and what have you. So yeah, hopefully in like a sort of more enclosed space we won't sort of run into that kind of issue, but you know.
Yeah. I have seen Nina play and she is absolutely amazing, but I've never played Bristol, so I'm interested. Like every single show I see that's in Bristol is rammed and it looks amazing, like amazing energy. So I'm just looking forward to playing in Bristol. So it should be an amazing event. Can't wait.
Is that one of the things you kind of enjoy? Oh, sorry, Jack.
I was going to say there is definitely a scene here, and you know, because I live in Bristol, so I've done the research already, and people are very excited that you guys in particular are coming, and Nina, because they go to the London shows, but some people, they can't make it to London. They're quite stoked that you guys can come to their hometown and play. It's quite nice to see, actually.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
Can't
like,
wait.
do you think being in these different cities when you're playing, do you like to try and soak it up? You know, like where you are. Or, you know, I guess sometimes it kind of goes with the territory that you might not get the time to do these things, but where you can, do you tend to try it, you know, try and put yourself around the city and take things in, take the sights in?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of a fun aspect that you can kind of go to these new places, but yeah, at the same time, like you say, it's often very time pressured. So it's like you've got to be here by this time. There's a lot of like that kind of classic hurry up and wait. So you're hurrying to get somewhere, then you get there, then you just kind of have to wait around until the moment you're called to then go in and do your little bit. And then you go away, then you come back, you know, and then you have to clear up, and then so there's lots of like to and fro. So there is like that kind of element, but yeah, there's moments in between you can definitely like, you know, find like an odd hour to explore something or chat to some new people or whatever.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's like I feel like maybe we've grown, Wolf Club have grown at like a similar level to like as the scene has grown and the live scene's grown. So when we started, there's no way we could have gone and played a gig in Bristol and anybody would have gone, oh, cool, let's go and see Wolf Club. But maybe now, at least 3, 4, 5 years down the line, that if we can grab a few people and they'll come down and see us. That firstly, that's absolutely amazing, and we're so privileged that is even in the conversation. But secondly, it's cool because we can go and see different cities and hopefully people will come and see us. It's just which is wicked.
Guys, before you go, are you able to share any like inside gossip about any projects you guys work on, any releases coming up in the near future between now and June next year?
I think so. We've got quite a few things, haven't we, Chris? I'm trying to think which things we can sort of briefly mention. I guess remix album we could probably mention that we're trying to work on.
Yeah, go for it.
So we're hopefully we're kind of got the ball rolling with a few acts that we can't name at the moment, but we're trying to get a sort of remix album of Just Drive Part 1 and 2 together. So I've reached out to some amazing acts, and they've come back, and yeah, quite a few of them have said yes, which is amazing. So I mean, I don't know when exactly, but it'll probably be sort of like early New Year if we can get it back
Before
together and get
June,
it
for
sorted.
sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I imagine so. So that's one thing that we're looking forward to and kind of working on. We're trying to do some writing for some other sort of vocalists, aren't we, Chris? Some singers that we know. See if they maybe could, read something that's not Wolf Club, but it's kind of written by us as well. And then the new album, which we've got enough tracks for. We're just going to see if we can sort of like put it together and see what kind of fits and try different versions of it. And
I think June's probably going to be a little bit early for that, isn't it? But it'll be maybe a couple of singles before then.
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah,
I mean, I almost guarantee that for the Hotline Bristol show, we'll be playing some new tracks for sure.
Yeah,
that sounds fantastic.
Almost guarantee.
Almost sounds like a guarantee.
We'll take that as a definite guarantee, guys. It's on video, so you can't take it back now. But yeah, so I mean, it sounds like you've had a busy sort of year. You've lots of releases coming out. It sounds like you've got a lot coming up as well, and you're going to be getting back into all the live stuff as well imminently. So it's a great time for you guys. We're really excited to have you with us next year. We really can't wait. We're really, really mega excited. I think it's just going to be a fantastic show. Got some really good quality acts topped off by really class acts such as yourselves and Nina. So I mean, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up there. It's been really good to speak to you and learn a little bit more about you guys. So I think we'll sign off there. So thanks a lot, guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks very much for having us, guys. We really appreciate it.
Drop it! Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
I know you.
We killed you! We killed you!
Walking through broken glass, the shadow
here we are with Nona from FHE. Welcome to the stream. How are you?
Thank you very much. Fabulous. All the better for seeing you guys in real life.
I know, it's awesome to finally see you face to face. We normally get to see you on live streams and things like that, so it's good. Well, we already knew what you looked like anyway, because we've seen you on album covers and things like that. But it's still good to get acquainted properly.
Hopefully, I'm not a disappointment, eh?
No, it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. Good.
Okay, so we'll kind of just get started straight away with the first question. We've been asking other people this question as well. We just want to kind of know, what is it that defines FHE as a group? Like what is the message and the vibe that you're trying to put out there to listeners and fans?
Yeah, so what defines us is the music. FHE kind of started because, myself and PK have made music for the last 10 years and different projects together, whether it be EDM, rock music, whatever it is. We've done all sorts of things, and it's always been there, a joint love of 80s music. And a lot of the, I can tell you some of the singles that we've already released, we've actually, put a different vibe on them to give them that synth edge, and it's just bang, it's worked. So I think, the vibe is giving people that authentic 80s sound with a modern production, and also just making music that we enjoy. Like I say, we've made so much music over the years. This is what's really working, and I kind of think that's what people resonate with us as well, is that it's all about what we love. And then I think once you give that off, other people love it too, because they're feeling that vibe. I think if you just make music just to have a hit, or just because somebody, a manager or a label says, oh, make this music, then there's nothing behind it. Whereas I think people can sense that we really love this music.
Yeah, there is just that vibe, like that you are just having fun when doing it, and it is very infectious.
Very fun music.
Oh, thanks. And it really does just kind of flow in that way of, we released a single on my birthday because I was just like, I want to do a song for my birthday. Why not? And it just kind of sparked from there. And I love being involved in this community where they understand my really weird movie quotes.
Yeah.
People that actually understand, because I say these things in real life and people are like, what?
You're definitely in the right place for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. And yeah, quoting the 16 Candles reference in a birthday track, I was like, come on. And even PK's like, are people going to get this? And I'm like, yes, they will.
Oh, yeah.
So, that to me, this is where, like you say, I'm glad that you guys feel like you feel that too. And it's that infectious vibe that we just love it. This is the music, finally, that we're getting to do that we just absolutely love.
That's fantastic.
And because you've gained a lot of popularity, like during the UK live stream across like last 18 months, synthwave, MCR nights. What do you think about your music that appeals to people?
I think it's just that. I think people can feel that, we're genuine. And we love involving the fans. I mean, that's what the evolution, if you like, is about. It's about, bringing that 80s vibe to people in a modern way, them loving it because they just love that niche of synthwave and the whole 80s aesthetic. It's the image, it's the clothes, it's, the music, even a lot of the instrumental stuff. You can just walk around the supermarket and feel like you're in, I don't know, whatever 80s movie you want. It just gives you that life. And I mean, I grew up in the 80s, and I think people can hear that as well. I get a lot that, oh, this sounds like Madonna, or this sounds like Kylie. And it just kind of shows you that it's, I've taken that in from being a child. Like, I didn't go out there going, well, I'm going to sound like Madonna. It's just what you take in. This is why I think now with a lot of modern music, a lot of vocalists sound the same.
Yeah.
Because obviously these younger people, or listening to the more modern artists. So that's who they're inspired by. So I think this is another reason why this just totally works. Because I'm an 80s kid.
Obviously, you're going to be performing for us next summer. You know, we've not seen you perform live yet. So, what can people expect from an FHE live performance?
What can't you expect? Is the question. So, obviously, again, that's this is my area because PK is the enigma. He just stays in the studio, and performance is my thing. Like, I live to perform, and I love being in the studio. Don't get me wrong, I love writing the lyrics. It all, you know, when it flows and you write a track in 10 minutes and it's banging, it's like, yes. But being on stage is where I just want to be. And I think I come to it with more of like a story influence. So it's more of a show rather than just a gig. Because I've been in the performing world for years and years and years. So, you know, whether it's props, whether it's lighting, whether it's causes, we're going to give it to you all. It's just going to be a full-on sensory explosion. You're going to love it.
So we're going to have to get you like
it up too much. I don't know, I feel too much, but yes, get ready.
We're going to have to put a screen up then for you to just walk around, and then you'll come out in a different outfit. Is it going to be that kind of thing?
It might be. I might even just have a little string I can pull and I'll be in another outfit. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally, you're laughing, but this is, you need to get ready. This is.
Oh, yeah. I'm prepared for
Get
this
ready
now.
for anything. Get ready for anything.
And in terms of like the actual the setup on stage as well, you say, so is it like, are you going to have anyone performing with you, or are you going to be performing on your own?
I do have some fellow future humans that like to take to the stage with me. Some of them, again, prefer not to be, exposed.
Right.
But, I'm trying not to give it all away, But
That's
yes,
fine.
There will
That's
be,
fine.
There will be some other humans there on stage. There might be a chihuahua as well. What do you think?
Now I'm wondering, there's going to be humans, chihuahuas, aliens, 79 different
Well, I
costumes.
tell you what, there definitely will be, because I've said this countless times on Synthwave and Space Jams and everything, and the fans, because, and I say this to them all the time, I'm like, you're going to be on stage. You're coming on stage, and they're like, ooh. But it's happening. This is what we do. We do this for the fans, and honestly, we cannot thank them enough. I mean, you are what you are because of your fans.
Yeah.
You keep bringing up.
You have got them. To say, because you have got a great following. It's really nice to see. I think they will definitely follow you on stage. No pressure to the fans, but I think they will.
Yeah,
to be honest.
It's just honestly the kindest, most supportive people. And that is truly from the heart. Like, these people are just beyond anything I've known before. They just absolutely live for the music. And I think because they know that we do too, it's a collective. And, we're all one word, we're all together about it. So yeah, it's been awesome. Just to meet all these cool people. I've actually managed to meet a couple of people in person. Synthraver Lizzie, shout out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
yes,
Max,
know her well.
I met Max Speed.
Yes.
Good
friend, Max.
Yeah. So it's just, because after everything, you just to meet people, just to be around people is like amazing. But to meet these incredible people that have supported us so much is just living. It's awesome.
What things are you going to look forward to most about playing Hotline Bristol then next year?
Everything. I mean, what an epic gig, firstly. Like, the lineup's just incredible. To share the stage with these people and to meet you guys, obviously, and, to have that live audience. It's just, I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I think just the way you have it set up is almost, festival type, but headliner gig at the same time. So I think it's that double-edged thing, which is really cool. It's not just like, you're there for a couple of hours. This is like, boom, in your face, take all these awesome acts, Yeah,
we're hoping people are going to come down, like commit to coming down nice and early and making sure they see all the acts, not turning up too late kind of thing. But at the same time, it's not all day, but it's the whole evening. It should be. It should have that festival-y vibe to it, hopefully.
Yeah, I think the issue when it with all day is like we went to an all dayer not long ago, and it was you're scared to leave.
Yeah.
But then at the same time you're kind of hungry, so you have to leave.
Yeah.
To come back. You don't want to miss anybody, but I think this is just like the perfect. Maybe you could put on a few nibbles for people so they don't disappear.
Pineapple and cheese on a stick.
And I'll wrap some oranges in tin foil. You just wrap the oranges in the tin foil and you just stick them in.
Yeah.
Sorted.
We'll do that. We'll get some FHE branded orange segments for everyone.
We could make them look like little spaceships.
Yeah. Little spaceships made out of sausage rolls.
Yeah.
We can make this happen. This is
vegan,
gold.
Vegan,
gold.
gluten-free.
Yeah.
Oh, are you a vegan and gluten-free person? Because I am as well. So that's how I power this moustache. It's powered on.
It's vegan powered.
That is a fabulous stash if ever I've seen one.
I'm working on it. So hopefully it'll be twice the size by next summer. It'll have to have its own
handlebars.
It'll have to have its own slot in the night, I think, just to put it on the stage.
Will you dye it pink? Will you dye it pink as well?
I'll think about it. We'll
I think it's
see.
official.
Someone
Now.
might have to hold me to account for that now, then, won't they?
I think you should.
At the very least, a glitter beard, a glitter stash. At the
Oh
very least.
yes.
Well, we'll
That
talk.
would be fabulous.
We'll talk about this
Off camera.
off camera, and see what we can muster.
I'll bring my makeup, babes. Don't worry.
Anyway, before you go, so last question. Before you go, are you able to share any inside gossip about any projects that you have coming up in the near future?
Oh, well, Halloween is the most wonderful time of the year,
Agreed.
and something epic this way comes.
Ooh.
That's all I'm giving you.
Because you did your Halloween single last year, didn't you?
We did.
Which was awesome. So
Oh, thank you. And how epic were those fans in that video?
That was a
yeah,
great video. Amazing.
Like, honestly, the effort these guys went to was just incredible.
Once again, I'm all alone. It feels like the end. He walks with me while I sleep. It's like a heart attack on a one-way street. Can't sleep tonight, 'cause I gotta run, gotta hide. I'm running from this nightmare. I turn around but there's no one there, and I'm running from this nightmare. I'm running from this nightmare. One way out, not this time. I've seen you before inside my mind. My heart beats faster with every step. I'm not afraid of you. You haven't got me yet. I can't sleep tonight, 'cause I gotta run, gotta hide. And I'm running from this nightmare. I turn around but there's no one there, and I'm running from this nightmare. I'm running from this
And now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, gonna stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again.
I'm your boyfriend now, Nona.
Running from this nightmare. I turn around but there's no one there, and I'm running from this nightmare.
We're gonna absolutely blow their socks off this year. Oh my god!
So you're saying we can be in
Tell
the
you.
video this year?
Oh, I don't know. Don't know.
Well, if it happens, then if a little magic.
Where was your video for the nightmare video? Why didn't you get involved?
Well, I think it was maybe a bit too early for me in my FHE fanboy
And
career.
The stash wasn't fully.
Exactly.
No,
No, it wasn't ready.
but I'm ready. I'm ready and willing now to participate.
Love it. Well, yes. All I can say is this is gonna blow your minds.
Well, we're excited, very excited to see it, and we're also obviously going to be very excited to have you with us next year. So thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's been really, really lovely to chat with you. And we just can't wait to have you performing next summer.
Oh, we can't wait. Cannot wait. Awesome.
All right, we'll catch you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We killed you! We killed you!
Hi guys, it's Nona from FHE. Come and see us, Brandon, and loads of other awesome artists at Hotline Bristol next year. Let's do this.
We now have with us Brandon, and we're very, very excited to welcome you here today. And we're super excited to have you playing with us at Hotline Bristol next summer. So welcome to the live stream. How are you doing?
I am well, and I'm also very excited to be playing next summer at Hotline Bristol. And the more we say Hotline Bristol, the more people know what's going on.
Exactly.
Catches
We've
on.
got our Hotline Bristol logos up in the corner, and we're all saying Hotline Bristol. So the universe is going to deliver a glorious spectacle for us all. So let's start with first question for you. We're interested in knowing, what is it that really defines you as an artist? What is it you stand for? What's the vibe you're trying to put across to your fans?
Oof, that's a deep question, but I'm going to answer it in a not so deep way. It's fun. It's the fun of it. So Brandon, when I set out to start Brandon back in 2016, the whole point was I wanted to keep it lighthearted and I wanted to keep it fun. we know this scene that we're in well. It's synthwave, retrowave, and there's various different like flavors within that. But I've always felt like I've been on the lighter side, the more kind of obviously paying homage as everyone else is to a decade, prior, being the 80s and all. But my take on it is like the fun approach to it is that really kind of leaning into the 80s aesthetic, really leaning into the sound of like pop production of the time. So like I'm always trying to keep it fun, again, like I like to kind of differ the tone of each of the tracks, and some may sound a bit more summery, if you will, and others might sound a bit darker, but it's always like I'm always having a lot of fun writing it, and I always hope that it's fun for people to listen to. At the same time they can get something out of it. So there's more in there to kind of listen for if you really want to go into the details of the production and such, but it's still it's hard. It's like enjoyable fun to produce, and hopefully enjoyable and fun to like listen to when you're doing whatever you're doing, basically.
When we're pulling off a bank job in the 80s, or we're on a nice summer beach filled with
that.
Sorry,
the track you want for that Vice.
Yeah,
it's the track for that scenario.
Nice.
I think there's a track for every scenario, probably, for like a Grand Theft Auto Vice City soundtrack almost.
How's it feel that next year you'll be playing of a bigger festival along the likes of like Nina and Wolf Club?
It feels awesome. It feels great. I'm no doubt not the first nor the last to say that, having not played for so long in a live scenario and performed to people, you really miss it, and it's a different thing entirely from again, I can't speak for everyone else, but I know me, all this music is written for the most part. It's just me alone. It's me in a room, producing this stuff from more or less from start to finish. When you perform it live, you get up on stage, you perform it to a room full of people, you hear it louder than you've normally been listening to it when you've been writing. And that feeling of that music and people reacting to it in the moment, I miss that so much. And I only got to do that a few times, prior to obviously what happened with the pandemic. And I was really just getting into kind of the swing of things, how my set would run, how I would sort of perform parts on stage, and I loved it. And then obviously I haven't been able to do it now. It must have been like a year and a half, something like that, longer actually.
It's been a long time, yeah.
Long time.
So now I'm just itching to get back to that, and again, just to have people, hopefully some of whom will know of my music, and even those that don't, to be able to play it to somewhat new audience, and hopefully have people having a good time in the room while I'm having a good time performing it. I can't wait for that.
What is it, that you think you really have enjoyed the most moving out, about moving out of the studio and onto the stage?
I kind of, to some degree, in fact, to be honest, peek behind the curtain here, but Johnny, you were one of the first people that approached me a long, long time back now to maybe, asking if I was interested in getting on the live scene or if I'd ever thought about doing it or whatever. And at the time I hadn't, and I never really saw that it would progress to that. And I remember telling you at the time the challenge of translating it over from the studio to a live scenario, but keeping it interesting for people. You know, I didn't want to stand there not doing so much for, you know, chunks of the song, you know, because there's only so many instruments I could either play, perform at once or whatever. And there's only so many parts that are, you know, performable, if you will, as opposed to how you might write something when you do it, you know, on the production side of things. But the challenge of doing that, despite it being challenging, was actually quite rewarding, especially when I got it to work, when I figured out how to have, you know, I play with a good friend of mine, Jake Ayler, on drums. And when we figured out how to use all the samples that I use in the actual tracks for each individual track, and we figured out how to get an electric kit to trigger those samples per track, and then how, you know, all the technical side to it. When we pulled that off, it felt great. And then I think the first time I performed it, for the most part, technical difficulties wise, we'd kind of foreseen most of them, and so we didn't have them. So I got up on stage, and it was that kind of, yes, we rehearsed it, but it was that first run through and like gauging people's reactions to it in real time. It was like, it was fun. It was obviously nervous to do the first time because it was a scenario that I'd never quite been in before, despite having just performed in general in the past. And yeah, it's just, that's what I would say. It's a rewarding thing. And you also get kind of, certainly for me, a somewhat unexpected kind of buzz from music that you've released years ago. So, you know, I started this stuff up in 2016, and then those first few tracks, I don't really regard those as my strongest tracks for obvious reasons, because I've kind of found my sound as I've gone along. But performing those live, and I imagine even next year, will still kind of, you know, re-energize me for those tracks, you know, kind of like, well, then, you know, they're kind of still enjoyable, especially to perform, because, you know, it's certainly, I don't hear them often, and then to have to play them, and then again, people are hearing them for the first time. It's just kind of an excitement there that you never imagined you'd get, certainly regarding your older back catalogue of stuff. Not that I've got a wealth of stuff out, it's but the small amount that I have got out, you know, I kind of do forget about some of the tracks after a few years go by. So
the good thing for you is that all of your stuff is fantastic, even the old stuff. So yeah, it's going to be great for people to get to hear all of that stuff next year.
I don't know if I'd agree with that, but thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that.
But one of your most notable collabs is SJ Bravo. So will he be joining you next year? What do we expect with that?
Barring any unforeseen circumstances or anything changing, yes, he has every intention of joining me on stage. And because it was originally, obviously, this event being scheduled prior, and you know, we've had to move it around, of course, such. But the intention has always been for Sam SJ Bravo to get up on stage and join me for those collaborations. We've got 5 collaborations now that we've released over the past 2 EPs, and this will be my first time actually hearing him with me on stage, you know, perform those to everyone. So yeah, really excited about that.
So I was going to say, you've known each other for years and done all those collabs. Like, is that kind of like a bit of a dream come true to be doing that with him?
Yeah, definitely. Because again, it's not something when I set out, and even when we'd done the first few collaborations, it wasn't something that I imagined we'd get to do. We kind of, you know, you think about it because you write a track that's very much one of the catchier tracks, and you think, wow, you know, in a live context, this would be so fun to perform and really get people, you know, hopefully energized and excited. But we never really foresaw it actually happening until, you know, a year, 2 years after, when I actually decided to start doing the live performances. So yeah, to get Sam up and to get us both, you know, there on stage together and performing them is, yeah, I can't wait.
I'm sure that you don't realize how much you've got that je ne sais quoi, you've got that magic touch. And sometimes I'm sure that you don't realize the truth, that I'm quaking in my boots when you do the things you do. I don't want anything but your attention. Still, I miss you, look my way. My hands are shaking and my mouth's bone dry. Still can't find a thing to say. But you know that I've been falling from the first moment. I swear you can read my mind, it's unholy. I'm so scared, I think I'm in love. Girl, you move like lightning, bottled up. Girl, you move like lightning, bottled up. Girl, you move like lightning, bottled up. I've always wondered if you saw what I see in you, the way that I'm transfixed when you barely move. I've always wondered if you knew what you had, the way your whispers echo like a thunderclap. I keep on dreaming things too hard to mention, trying not to lose my cool. So terrified of losing this connection, hoping that you feel it too. But you know that I've been falling from the first moment. Baby, I've been falling. I'm so scared, I think I'm in love. Girl, you move like lightning. I've been falling from the first moment. I swear you can read my mind, it's unholy. I'm so scared, I think I'm in love. Girl, you move like lightning, bottled up. Girl, you move like lightning, bottled up. Girl, you move like lightning, bottled up. Girl, you move like lightning, bottled up.
Big gig coming up then next year. How, what is it you're looking forward to most about playing Hotline Bristol, do you think? Or what things are you looking forward to most rather than just one thing?
Yeah, definitely numerous things. For one, I'm really looking forward to performing on stage with all the other artists that are scheduled for the event, because as if I take myself out of it as an artist or a performer, as a fan, what a great lineup! I'm gonna be so relieved when I've done, and hopefully, again, really, on a high from having gotten to perform, and then I can just enjoy the rest of it and just enjoy the performances, because I can't wait to see what people are going to bring to their sets, and I'm sure it's not gonna disappoint, far from.
We hope not.
Oh.
Or we're in trouble.
Have you got anything you're kind of working on at the moment? Anything in the pipeline? Any new releases coming up?
Yes, there none. I can't specifically say when or what exactly, but there's new music in the works, a nice chunk of new music, and sort of I'm currently it's sort of on a little bit on the back burner at the moment with various other life things going on as it is. But there's definitely some tracks I've had sort of in the can for a while now, new collaborations, which is exciting. And what form they'll take, I'm not 100% sure yet, but whether it be another EP or whether it be an album, I'm thinking possibly another EP. I like to keep it kind of concise and that. So whether some tracks don't make the cut or not, we'll see. But yeah, there's music there. There's music that I've really enjoyed, again, writing, putting together. So it's just a case of how and when it's going to get released. but hopefully sooner rather than later.
So do you think we'll see maybe 1 or 2 tracks off, the new EP next year?
I'd be quite tempted to actually get those in. Yeah. We'll have to see kind of where they're at, because the issue with unreleased stuff is sometimes it changes. Sometimes you can take an idea that you think is fully fleshed out and then it changes. But I don't know. We'll see how things progress, and if some of those tracks kind of do remain unchanged for a while, yeah, I might try and sneak them into the set, or possibly. I mean, to be honest, by that point, stuff may have been released anyway. So in that case, actually, it would most likely make the set. But again, yeah, you're having me think far ahead, and we'll see what happens. But
trying to get that juicy gossip out of you.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, that's great. We're really looking forward to new music. We're absolutely, really, really, really excited to have you play for us next year. I think everyone's going to really appreciate, your vibe and your sound. So yeah, we just can't wait for it. So it's been really great talking to you, and we will catch you quite soon in Bristol.
Ooh. Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Hey, it's Brandon. Come catch me and a whole host of other awesome synthwave artists next year at Hotline Bristol.
Getting colder, colder. I wish you'd stay just a little while. We both know that it's over. I left my heart for the taking. Hoping you'd answer the call. You're not as sweet as you tasted. A fracture in my heart, it's just a game to you. Got nothing left for you, nothing, baby. No, you don't feel the same. Got nothing left for you, nothing, baby. No, you won't ever change. Found you down by the shoreline. Put your head on the shoulder. I didn't know if I was doing right. I still pulled you in closer. I left my heart for the taking. Hoping you'd answer the call. You're not as sweet as you tasted. A fracture in my heart, it's just a game to you. Got nothing left for you, nothing, baby. No, you don't feel the same. Got nothing left for you, nothing, baby. No, you won't ever change. for you, nothing, baby. No, you don't feel the same. Got nothing left for you, nothing, baby. No, you won't ever change.
Right, we're here with Christian and Lee from Paradise Walk. Really great to see you guys. How's it going?
Good, thanks.
Good.
How you doing?
Yeah, really good. We're very excited to have you with us tonight and excited to have you playing at our gig next summer.
Can't wait.
So wanted to kick things off by just sort of asking you, like Paradise Walk, as a group or a band, what is it that you really stand for? What defines you as artists? What vibe are you trying to put out there to your fans in general?
I'd say, like, first and foremost, our friendship is probably what really defines us, I think. We've been friends for such a long time. I think if we haven't got that, then we haven't got Paradise Walk. So that's the main thing that defines us for sure. We write songs mostly from like a personal perspective, so each song has like its own message,
Yeah.
Just want each song and our sound to just feel real. So
yeah,
Awesome.
It's nice. It's nice when it's sort of give off a vibe where people can relate to it, and it's all relative to them. And I suppose you kind of take more from a song then as well, don't you? And becomes something more than just a tune and some lyrics, if you know what I mean. So that's what we kind of like to portray anyway.
That's awesome. So, do you try and put like your own sort of experiences and memories and nostalgia into the songs then when you're writing?
Yeah, I think
every time.
Yeah, it just feels more genuine, and like I say, that this probably the things we've experienced have been experienced by so many other people, and sometimes you can take just one line from a song and it makes that song, such a powerful thing to you. And I think that's what we're hoping for with every song, that someone will just take a line and think, oh, that's happened to me, or I can, I heard about that and things like that. And I think that's what we're trying to aim at, to be honest.
Nice. And obviously, viewers, they can pick up on your Welsh accents. You guys have been flying the flag for Welsh synthwave since 2015. It's important for you guys to like raise the profile of synthwave music in Wales.
I'd say I don't know. I think we think it's important to like raise the profile of synth music as a whole, really. And just of course, like any band, we're just trying to reach as many listeners as we possibly can. I think us being Welsh is just an added bonus,
I've got a bit of Welsh heritage myself, so I'm very much excited to progress the Welsh synthwave scene by having you guys over with us in Bristol. So it's going to be very good. Like, what can we expect from a Paradise Walk gig? Like, what do you guys look to try and bring? What's the vibe and the energy kind of thing?
I think that I think because of lockdown, especially, I think we certainly feel there's a lot of sort of pent up energy, and I think this would be a perfect opportunity for not just us, for the other bands and for the people who are attending. Just to let off, not steam as such, but all this energy that's been built up for over a year, I suppose now. And I think we just want to
explode.
Just have a great time. Just
let loose.
Yeah, don't literally explode, because I don't know whether we've got the insurance cover for that.
No, we probably won't.
It'd be a great show, though, wouldn't it? Right?
It would
People
be quite.
Would talk about it.
Get that on a stream, that'd be right.
Yeah, we'd have to cut the live stream at that point if it did happen.
Parental guidance and all that.
Yeah. How are you feeling about playing alongside some of the other acts then as well on the bill?
Yeah, well, we've never played with any of them, so it'd be great to play with them for sure. Really looking forward to meeting them properly and because obviously we've heard about them all. So yeah.
Glances, one look from her and she tears me apart, tears me apart. I lead her through the city lights, I hold her so close I feel the beat of her heart, beat of her heart, yeah. She dances in the headlights, she moves to the beat of the city. We get lost in the summer heat, we just drive but we never felt so free. Resist her. She's taken a hold and she started a fire. Started a fire in my heart. Helpless to answer. Her body cries out just to be loved. Just to be loved. She's like no other. One kiss is worth its weight in gold. She dances in the headlights. She moves to the beat of the city. We get lost in the summer heat. We just drive but we never felt so free. Never felt so free. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Wasted feeling. Can you feel it? Wasted feeling. Can you feel it? Wasted feeling. Can you feel it?
Just going back to 2020, because your album Cruel Hearts Club was very well received. It's a fantastic album, listened to a bunch of times. Are you guys working on any new music before next summer? Got anything in the pipeline at the moment?
Yeah, I think we're we definitely got things we got things going on. I think we've only sort of just started to get back on our feet.
We've been slowly coming out of our cave and finding ourselves a bit more, I think, with music.
And we haven't long since started jamming together again, which is a completely different thing to kind of being on your own trying to come up with something. So we just say we've just got all these different bits and pieces that we want to bring to the table, and I think that's our next step, is sort of gathering them all together and seeing what we're gonna push on with and go with. So yeah, there's bits and pieces that we're going to be doing.
There's definitely a few singles coming your way, and maybe if you're lucky, we can get an EP out before next summer.
Awesome.
A few videos maybe or something.
Maybe yeah.
You're quite active on like social media, like on Instagram and stuff. You have a lot of videos of you guys in the studio and stuff. Do you like, is that how you do? I know it seems like a weird thing to say to a musician, like, is that how you do, but is that the songwriting process for you guys to just get together in the studio, make sure you know, just kind of jamming and riffing, and do things come organically, or are things quite well planned out? How does it work for you?
Yeah, it just depends on our moods, I think.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, yeah, sometimes we'll come up with something separately and bring it into the studio and then try and build on it from there. Yeah, but a lot of the time it's quite organic.
Most of the time it is organic, yeah.
Yeah, we tend to have a habit of riffing around for about 3 hours, and then the last 10 minutes we find something that we really like, and then we gotta sort of quickly get it all down before we forget it. But
yeah,
that seems to be the way, doesn't it?
Goes way past that bedtime.
Way past the bedtime.
So what are you guys looking forward to most, do you think, about playing at Hotline Bristol next year?
I'd say meeting new people, obviously, fans and things, with people in
You guys, obviously.
Yeah, you guys, yeah. The artists, for sure. I'd love to have a few chats with people on there. And hearing feedback from people as well, that'd be great. Like, that'd be cool. You know, how bad we are live, how good we are live.
Hopefully it'll be positive messages.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. I'd say, like, it's tricky because, like, obviously we write music for ourselves, for starters. Just, you know, it's like our own sort of journey, and then like having fans seeing us play those songs live is just going to be like a major honor. So, you know, like a big honor sort of thing. You know. Yeah. We can't wait to play Hotline Bristol, that's for sure.
I think it's gonna be great because, like you're saying, a lot of people have probably been waiting around to go out and see gigs again and things like that, and you know, we're as excited as anyone to be able to get on board and do that as well. And so I think it's just gonna be good. It's gonna be great.
Getting ready to explode on stage.
Getting ready to explode. Yeah.
Are there any other bits of gossip or bits of inside info, you know, from Paradise Walk that you guys, you know, maybe some secret things you're working on or thinking about working on in the near future that you could give us a few tidbits or insight into?
Yeah, I'd say we're like Pinky in the Brain, you know, like trying to like sort of take over the world sort of thing. No, it's just more like we've got a few things in the fire lined up with a few like collabs and things with people, and we can't really say too much who they are right now, because it's all a little bit.
Oh, you tease!
No.
But yeah, we can't wait to collab with them, and then eventually, obviously, show you guys and stuff what we've been working on.
Just seems everything's happening at once now. You know, everyone's sort of back out of lockdown. I think everything's sort of happening at once. Just trying to arrange everything and plan everything is a job in itself. And
we're definitely still catching up. That's for sure.
Yeah, things are going to come thick and fast now. But yeah, so, you know, it's been great talking to you both. It's you know, we are excited, like we said, to have you playing with us next year. You know, it's going to be really good for you to be on that big stage and connect with your fans, you know, really get that music out there to people and just see how well it goes down. You know, so thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we'll really look forward to seeing you soon at the gig.
Brilliant. Thank you for
thanks, Jonas.
having us. Yeah.
All right, guys, catch you later.
Can't wait. Thank you. See you now.
Hi, this is Lee from Paradise Walk. Looking forward to seeing you all at Hotline Bristol.
Let's play one idea at a time. I know you like to improvise. Let's keep it strong, steady work. I know you like to count it first. Keep it on the down low. Don't need to go run up your mouth. Keep it between us. If we get caught 15 alive.
Let's not talk about the jobs we did. You never know who's listening.
gotta drive. You will benefit from a slave. Spend 5 ways to honor me. Now we play the waiting. Be ready, grab that VIP. Give me love. Don't lose your nerve on the count of 3, 2, 1.
Let's not talk about the jobs we did. You never know who's listening. Start up the ride, go and tell the kid. Let's get on out of here. I'm not one for pretty boy attractions. I only see that dollar bill. I only talk that golden deal. No one gets hurt, that's my intention. So don't take it all too hard. Put your head face down, don't start. It's just an inside job connection, baby. Yeah, stay quiet, hands on that wall. Cut the wire, unlock that door. Hostile take over now in action. You got the one thing that is real. Tell the kid, bring round the wheels. I only see that dollar bill. I only talk that golden deal. You got the one thing that is real. Tell the kid, bring round the wheels.
We are here now with the man, the myth, the legend, John Beckett. Welcome to the stream. It's very good to see you, good sir.
Good evening. It's very good to see you guys. I'm hyped. Been ready for this.
He is ready. He's born ready, and now
Coiled spring.
he's even more ready than he was born. He's ready to go. That was a bit of a. I'm not going to talk about that hand
let's move
gesture.
on. Yeah.
Okay, so we've been asking the people on the show to tell us a little bit about, what is it that defines you as an artist? What is it that Beckett stands for? What's the message you're trying to put across to your listeners and fans? Is it all about the music, or is there a vibe, or an aesthetic you're trying to get out there? Tell us more about it.
Well, Johnny, I would say the 3 things that would be, indicative of a Beckett kind of song, Beckett performance, or a Beckett recording, whatever it may be, Beckett essentially, would be being authentic, being as authentic as possible. And, I'm not on about going chasing other synthwave artists and trying to copy that sound. I'm not on about trying to replicate and copy something, approximation of synthwave. I'm on about going back to my roots, which is 80s music, obviously, as is a lot of other people. But I haven't really heard anything past 1989. So, that kind of fresh sound is 40 years old. So I'm still getting that authentic kind of sound from it, that authentic vibe. And the synths and everything else around me, is pretty old stuff as it is. So I can't really make anything that sounds quite up to date.
No.
So this is where I am. This is the authentics come from this kind of stuff right here, whatever that is. So, I would say that on a more serious note, people do say that I do have a good ear to bring that nostalgia, and it does sound quite authentic in its roots, not only from a synthwave point of view, but from just a retro music point of view. It could have been released in the 80s because of the way I work, the structures, the chording, the arrangements, and obviously the instrumentation. So, authentic as much as I can, instrumentation and arrangement, and trying to actually write like the days of old. And and I would say the last thing is, trying to have a bit of a character to myself. I mean, I'm a straight cut guy. I got good clothes. I'm all right. But what I'm saying is, is that this is John Beckett, and you at home are lucky enough now to hear the actual real John Beckett coming through. So yeah, again, I guess that's being authentic as well. And I can't say original because, you know, everything's a remix, right?
Yeah.
Right, Johnny?
Yeah. So you're almost like, I don't know, it's like you're going back and going, well, you're creating this actual 80s character, you know, like someone from a movie or a musician or some kind of, you know, some personification of all your influences and nostalgia, and bringing that out in your own unique way.
Oh yeah, I would say that wraps it up. I mean, that's a more succinct way of putting what I just gabbled on about for 10 minutes. So that's good. Yeah, I would say that I do have this kind of persona I try to bring with Beckett. And like I said, when I am writing and I am composing and putting the tracks together, I'm not thinking in a marketable way that is now, which is synthwave or retrowave or whatever you want to call it. I am trying to go back to those original kind of sounds and recordings that really drag me in and write like that. That's how I get to the sound I'm at now, which, you know, some people say it's not traditional kind of, well, I say traditional, it's not really authentic synthwave, but it is authentic retro kind of music and from the soul.
It works for us.
It works for everyone, apparently.
We're interested to know, like, can we expect to see anything like new from your performance next year, you know, and can we hope to see maybe Rachel back on stage with you and Luca as well?
Yeah, well, new things, leather chaps. I'm gonna start wearing those. You know, ones with the holes in the, anyway. Yeah, no, I think we're gonna have a lot of new music. I hope to be having a album number 8 is on its way. Yeah, so there's some brand new tunes in there. I mean, really funky stuff, really 80s funk, more so than, like, you know, the traditional synthwave sound. And I know people out there, it's a love and hate relationship between vocals, but everyone can agree on a talk box. So I'm bringing more talk box. That's going to be great.
Happy medium.
You know, it's yeah, exactly. You want an instrumental or you want a vocal? I'll tell you what, I'll give you both in one go. There it is. It's an instrument vocal. But there will be Rachel. There will be Luke. We will be rocking it. And, you know, there'll be a few stage moves going on. I've recently learned how to dance, which is great. You're going to love those moves. But yeah, it's going to be all new stuff. I mean, obviously, there'll be the classics. There'll be all the moving and shaking numbers. The stuff like Air Games that will make an appearance because it just will.
There's
and,
no,
you know,
it's not a Beckett gig without Air Games.
It's not. You know, I've done a few gigs without Air Games because, you know, I've done some stuff just solo without Luke. But, you know, you got to have that screaming guitar from Luca. Otherwise, it's not Air Games. And if it's not a Beckett gig without Air Games, then I don't know what I'm doing. I might as well just pack it in. Actually, you know, let's go. Right. No, I'm joking. Yeah, so new stuff all the way. That's all I can say. Good stuff.
Now it's time for a classic.
Another dream, and we're both in it. Another mark, another game, another scheme. It's the price we pay as we navigate the world. A flash a leg, a turn a smile, it's all time. A little magic, start a hand, a sequence up, go down and practice the dance. Now the beat has just stepped up. Can't make this game for much too long. Hustle. One more job and we're done. It's only 4 miles till we're out from the coast and then we're home. It's the last time that we're running the risk. You won't be on your own. It'll take you 4 years to Pressure's on, we're on the clock. It only takes a little minute. We're in and out, we're looking good. You go and change up the script. And the heater's just stepped up. Can't play this game for much too long. Need a break from all this hustle. One more job, and we're done. It's only 4 miles till we're out from the coast, and then we're home. It's the last time that we're running the risk. You and we on your own. Take the 4 years to figure out what we did. Here we go. And I know we can't last that long. But we'll be gone.
Thank you very much. We'll see you at Hotline Bristol. Take it easy.
You'll be performing alongside some fairly big artists at this event. I mean, how do you feel about playing on like a larger stage and being part of a synthwave festival, if you like?
It's going to be epic for one, because obviously these people, these artists, they're not only going to be on the stage and be artists for the night, but they are people I've been listening to for a while, and that's what's crazy. I'm going to get to meet some of these mythical legends, which is fantastic, and share the same stage with them. It would be awesome if we could like all team up and do a synthwave band-aid kind of everyone on stage, they all have their little parts, everyone's got the 770s on, just like it'd be fantastic.
Well, you've just tasked yourself with that job to get that sorted out.
Well, okay. Well, that's what should we call it? We can't call it synth aid.
Synthwave aid.
Synthwave aid. Yeah. Anything's possible, hey. But yeah, going to get to meet these people that have been quite mythical in, like I said, in some terms. I've never had the chance to meet Nina. I think fantastic vocal, fantastic presence. It's going to be fantastic to share the stage, and having what we bring to this environment. We're not like everybody in terms of the synthwave kind of 16 on the hi-hat and the 8s on the bass, and that's it. 4 to the floor. It's all numbers these days. But we do bring that kind of synth funk kind of element, which is going to be different, and I hope that's really going to pop compared to some of the other stuff that's out there. So yeah, great, it's going to be amazing.
So I mean, what things do you think, apart from, you said a few little things already, but what are some of the other things that you're looking forward to most about playing Hotline Bristol next summer?
Well, one thing, if you've not noticed already, John Beckett's hometown is right next to Bristol. So it's going to be an eye opener to my family. Look, mum and dad, I made it. You know, it's going to be friends from the old days, people I haven't seen for 20 years, literally 20 years since I left and came to Manchester. There's going to be new crowd. Now I'm looking forward to new crowd, looking forward to old friends as new crowd. And there's going to be people coming down from up here that know Beckett. There's going to be people from all over the place that are coming to see this gig. I mean, literally all over the world. I've heard people are flying in for this.
Yeah,
this is like mind blowing, and they're coming in, and they've personally messaged and said, "I'm coming in, and because you're on the bill, this is one of the reasons I'm coming." I mean, obviously, you know, everyone is going to have their new friends that kind of know who maybe I am, and maybe some of the other groups, but they're going to be focused on their own artists they're following. But that's all new crowd. It's all new people to hear the tunes, and it could spread. You know, it could spread the love. Everyone's going to be able to hear what's going on, and you know, hopefully it's going to be a mega fest of just everyone just amalgamating together and having an amazing time. It's going to be fantastic. So yeah, I think to new friends, new ventures and new people and new sounds, you know, new memories. Yeah. Sounds like an advert for like a perfume or something. New memories.
Sounds like the name of your 8th album.
It is, yeah. New memories, new friends. Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Are we able to share any inside gossip, any projects? Any talks about your 8th album? Anything you got coming in the future you want to share with us?
Ooh. Well, I'm working with some new people that is going to be distributing for tapes. So we will be bringing some tapes because you might know, you probably do, I hope you do, the album from City to Beachfront, the City Pop album that just came out back at the beginning of August. Doing good numbers. People are really listening to it. They're really sharing it. So thanks very much out there, everybody. And if not, then why not? Get on Spotify. Come and see me. It's free. Have a listen. And, you know, that's the kind of stuff that's going on. I'm going to be putting tapes out there, going into production with some of these guys. The 8th album. There may be a Halloween spectacular coming up. You know, last year we did Jack in the Box, which was that spooktacular kind of thing. So we're going to be doing something like that again this year, possibly a Halloween spooktacular gig.
So you got dressed up as Teen Wolf, didn't you? Well, you got immortalized as Teen Wolf.
I did.
Get immortalized as someone else this time.
The amazing artistic hand of the On-Ons. That's the guys I work with. So Neil Newport, fantastic shout out there. He did a great job of turning me into Beckett Wolf. It's not a clever name, but it worked. But yeah, we might be coming up with something else next year. Who knows? This year, not next year, this year. Whoa, it's all going so quickly. And then obviously Christmas comes. And I was saying a few weeks ago for the Night Ride FM guys, there is a secret album on my desktop that's called Christmas.
Ooh.
So you never know what that could be. Probably a Christmas song or two.
I think that's one thing that's great, like about, you know, the past was that these things were like stalwarts of the music calendar. You know, the artists would all do these things all the time. So it's really cool that you're, you know, divulging in those things like Halloween and Christmas and everything.
It's like we were saying at the beginning, going all that way back in time. We were saying, this is it. This is kind of how I work. I think about how that writing and how that arrangement was going on back in the day. And it's not driven now by, you know, Spotify and stuff, whatever. My stuff goes on Spotify, but, you know, I still think about that. What, you know, I don't know if you saw the last Christmas track I did. And it was basically, I did it like it was a top 10 Christmas on Top of the Pops, like used to watch. Used to see in like the last weekend before, you know, Christmas hit, you'd always have the Top of the Pops number. And I did the cover just, you know, just like that. So it was a Top of the Pops kind of hit. And I always think like that, you know. I always think that's a good way of checking names to albums and also names to songs as well. You know, like you do it in a Top of the Pops voice and go, moving up to, it's going to be Beckett with
we need like
this Christmas.
We need a Top of the Pops live performance for a music video.
Maybe that's what we do. Maybe that's cool. What Synthwave 8 is. Maybe
Lots
that's
of
a
good
Christmas
ideas
one.
today. Yeah.
Lots of good ideas. Yeah. Come and see old Beckett. He knows what's going on.
Well, look, you know, we are a bit short for time today because we've got a lot of people to fit in. So we are unfortunately going to have to end things there. But, you know, we're so excited to have you with us. You know, we're so happy to see you getting this platform to play, you know, with these big
100%.
artists and get your music out there to all these guys that are going to come down and see it. And we know they're going to be blown away. You know, we're huge fans of you, we always have been. So yeah, we're just really happy to have you with us. It's been great talking to you, and yeah, so take care.
Thank you. See you next time. Hey, this is John Beckett. I'm going to be bringing a whole lot of talkbox funk to Hotline Bristol. So, get your dancing shoes on, and I'll see you there.
Okay, so we're here with Roxy Drive. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How are things with you at the moment?
Good. Yeah, looking forward to finally being able to go on stage and perform. It's been a long time, actually. It's been when was the last time? February 2019. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back out. Yeah. So yeah, just looking forward to starting to do more and go out and perform.
So you're doing quite a lot of gigs. You're starting to do a lot of gigs just before things sort of got locked down. You started to get a bit of momentum.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I said 2019. It was 2020. I'm getting it wrong now. No, it's February 2020 because that was just before we were locked down, wasn't it? 2019 was when I started doing live gigs, and I was really nervous to start with because my background is in theatre, and so I'm used to being more part of a group. I have been in a girl band before, but obviously it's an ensemble thing, so you've got other people to back you up and stuff. You're not singing the whole song. So I was quite nervous going out there as a solo artist, but yeah, it was good. The more I did it, the more confident I got, and I learned an awful lot about how it all works. And so yeah, I've got a really nice situation now with my two bandmates, Glenn and Matt. Matt's on the drums, Glenn's on the guitar, and yeah, it's a really nice dynamic. So just looking forward to getting out there now. Yeah,
it's definitely gonna be good to get back. So I mean, one thing we've asked a lot of people that have been on tonight is to tell us a bit about what defines them as an artist. Like what is it really that you stand for? What's the message or vibe, if there is one, that you're trying to put across to your fans and followers?
I wouldn't say there was any particular message I'm trying to put across. It's simply a case of, if you like the kind of stuff I put out, then great. And then that's all I can ask for, because I like it. And so if other people like it, then that's even better. So, I enjoy it. And that really is the whole thing, really, because I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. I just get such a buzz out of it. I just absolutely love it. And it's something I've wanted to do for a long time. And I didn't know how to do it. Like putting out 80s style music, like I just had no clue. I didn't know what producers were doing that kind of thing nowadays. I just figured, oh, no one would like this. We're not in those times anymore. And then, of course, I discovered synthwave and all these amazing artists with all this kind of 80s inspired music. And it just gave me a freedom to really be who I feel like I am, really, and to express myself how I want to, and not feel, like I'm too different to other people. There's definitely this connection, I think, where we all have this, this thing in common, so yeah.
What is it about 80s music and culture that you love the most?
Gosh, everything. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously the music. I mean, for me, the 80s, that whole decade is just, for me, the ultimate in music. Obviously, there's an overspill from the 70s, there's an overspill into the 90s, but ultimately that 10 years was, for me, the greatest music ever. And so obviously I love that. I mean, I was a child in the 80s, so, I've got that nostalgia for it as well. Growing up, I still remember being a little kid and listening to the music in car rides and stuff. And but it's not even just the music, it's the movies. And obviously the music was a big part of the movies. The soundtracks that went with them was a huge part of those movies as well. And just the whole aesthetic, the whole visual thing. I don't think since the 80s we've had, for me, I find everything a bit bland now, to be honest. The way people dress, the way people look, it's all a bit, and it's fine. But yeah, it's just, I feel like then there was a casualness about it. I feel like nowadays people are very like preened, and everything has to look perfect, contouring and everything, and it's all this certain, your hair, and those days I just think it was more, people just let go a bit. It wasn't perfect, but it didn't have to be, and that wasn't the way it was. And it was all about experimentation and just being who you wanted to be, and experimenting with bold colors and big hair and crazy clothes and different shapes. And yeah, I just think it was a real experimental time, and people could just be who they wanted to be and look how they wanted to look. And I just want to go in my time machine, basically.
Yeah. People did like express themselves a lot more back then, didn't they? Through the music and and the aesthetic and fashion and everything like that. And you know, that's something that definitely comes through, you know, with your style as an artist as well. So it's a really cool thing that you're connecting back to that time that you love. So I mean, going back to the music, you know, your recent album Feel the Beat went down really, really well this year. You know, we were kind of wondering, are we going to see plenty of songs from the album on the live performance next year, or are you going to be sprinkling in a variety of all your hits from over the years?
Yeah, I hope I'll do a few of them from the Feel the Beat album. I mean, the set I've got at the moment, which I'm performing at Derby, is probably 80% Electric Heart, so a little bit maybe more rocky. And then there's one from the current album, Never Find Another, I'm performing. So yeah, that the one at the moment is probably more Electric Heart, but I probably will. I mean, by the time we get to June, you know, I'm sure the set will have changed and I'll have added more. You know, it'll be a bit different. So yeah.
Has there been any artists that have inspired you with their live performance, and have anyone helped you shape your own style on stage?
Yeah, loads. I mean, sort of sadly, I haven't been able to see a lot of my kind of icons on stage because they were, from the 80s. So I've never been able to see them live, and I would have loved to have seen them live. People like Pat Benatar, although she's still, I think she's still performing. So that would be amazing to still see her. I'd love that. She's incredible on stage. The clips I've seen on YouTube and stuff. She just has this energy. She goes out there and she just commands it. And I really admire people like her. And Laura Branigan had an amazing energy on stage as well. So yeah, artists like that I love to watch, and yeah, they're really inspiring, definitely.
Do you think you try and emulate that in your own performance then, or do you also try and you nod off the cap to those artists that you admire, but you bring something new from yourself?
Yeah, I guess you're always going to be yourself. I mean, you can never totally, emulate other people, and you shouldn't want to either. You don't want to copy someone, but definitely you can take things from artists. You can take, oh, I like that, oh, I like that, and you'll notice that even with artists that are really big, they've already said in interviews that they've taken bits from their favorite performers and mixed them together. It's all a circle of inspiration. We all get inspired by each other, and yeah, definitely, I'll definitely take bits from the way Pat Benatar kind of does that, and I like that. But at the same time, yeah, it will be me. It's obviously I'm going to bring my own sort of style. Yeah.
What things do you think you're looking forward to most about playing at Hotline Bristol?
I think meeting everyone would be really nice. Yeah, like we don't get to meet people much face to face these days. It's all sort of online. So it'd be nice to meet everyone and just to see people perform, who I've never seen on stage. And yeah, that would be really cool. Just to have a really good night with everyone, and yeah, just to come together and celebrate what we all enjoy. Yeah.
Do you think, is that going to be maybe your first gig back, or are you playing? Oh no, sorry, you're playing Outrun the Sun, aren't you? Next.
Yeah,
month?
yeah. I hope it's not the first gig back, because, I mean, we've got a little while till next June, and I would hope that there will be gigs before then as well. Obviously we've got Derby, and I'm supposed to be supporting Wolf Club, I think, in London. Yeah, November, I think. I'll have to look. Everything's been rescheduled so many times. I keep forgetting what dates are what, but yeah. So I think I'm doing that. I hope to get more gigs before Hotline as well. That would be good, because it keeps you in the swing of things as well. If you go a long time without going on stage, it's not great. I think you get out of it a little bit, and I personally just prefer it to be a bit more regular. It's just a nice, keeps things, keeps you going with it. Otherwise it can get a little bit stagnant in between, I think, so.
Yeah, I think back in 2020, it's a shame, because I think that year was really shaping up. Like, there were lots of gigs, lots of brand new promoters all over the world. It was really kicking off, and then COVID. So hopefully next year we can kind of get that momentum back.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Like, touch wood, everything's fine and everything stays open, and yeah, we can all just start going out and performing, and
enjoy the music.
Yeah.
And it's been lovely having you. Just before you go, have you got any inside gossip you can share with us? Any future projects, new albums you're working on between now and next June?
Yeah, so probably the next album I'm sort of very tentatively working on now. It's probably going to be a collaboration between myself and my guitar player, Glenn Jevon. Glenn is an amazing producer, actually, and we're starting to work on some tracks together. So we figured, we'll make an album. So yeah, we're working on that. But it's a slow process. We want it to be right. We don't want to rush it. Yeah, we just want it to sound really amazing. It's not going to be like the last album. It's going to be more rock, pop, guitars, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's something I'm working on at the moment. Yeah.
Do you think you've with lockdown and everything like that, do you think you've spent more time making music than you did previously? Has it afforded you the ability to do that, or has things been tougher to produce?
Yeah, last year definitely. I feel like I achieved quite a lot last year, actually, and I think that was because of the lockdown. So I wasn't out working and I was inside. Yeah, definitely last year I felt like I finished off that album, and yeah, I just feel like I did a lot more last year, a lot more writing and recording. Yeah. So this year, not as much because we've kind of opened up a bit and I've started to work a bit more. So other things have kind of taken priority a little bit, but still always doing stuff, I'm still always keeping creative, but yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, we're really looking forward to hearing some new music from you. And we're certainly extremely excited to have you playing for us next summer. It's going to be really great.
Oh, thank you. We're excited too.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get to meet you in person at Outrun the Sun next month, hopefully. So that's going to be really nice, but it's going to be great to have you at our event, and we just can't wait. So thanks so much for talking to us tonight.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hi, I'm Roxy Drive, and I'm really excited to be performing at Hotline Bristol next year, so don't miss it.
very warm welcome to Nina, who's with us now for a chat. So hi, Nina.
Hello, it's nice to be here.
Yeah, we're really pleased to have you here. So, I mean, let's just start the question straight away. So we wanted to ask you first, what is it really that defines you as an artist? You know, what is it that you stand for, and what's the overall message and vibe that Nina's trying to put across?
I think it's kind of hard to define yourself. I think it's whatever I feel at the time. So that's kind of, you know, what I would say. It's a good question, but I feel like, you know, you're many things, and yeah, so it's just whatever I feel at the time.
Obviously, like, we've had a lot of, you know, lack of live events for some time. And Nina, can you remember like what it feels like to play a gig? Like, what have you missed about it?
I definitely remember, and yeah, I mean, like all of us, I miss it so much. It's just that pure energy and that feeling truly alive. I feel like it's the one moment where I really feel like myself, and it's just something, I'm in my element. And you know, being in the studio, it's great, and you create, and it's rewarding when you release a song. But I feel like playing live is just that extra boost, you know, of I don't know, just elevating as an artist. It's just that kind of pure energy you have with the artist. You're singing your songs, you're connecting, and I miss it so much. And I just can't wait to go back on stage. It's been just way too long, of course, and yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
So I mean, there's been quite a few changes for you over the last year or so, and that probably is going to impact your actual live set. So we were curious, you know, what can we expect from a set from you, you know, when you come and play for us next year?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few changes for sure. I don't want to give away too much. I always like to keep a little bit of a mystery or like surprise, but it will definitely be a mixture of Nina classics and some, you know, more newer stuff. It's just gonna be a little bit more of a variety. I'm aiming for a bigger show, bigger live show, edit musicians, and so that's all I can say for now. But yeah, it'll be a really cool show. I'll make sure of it.
Easiness.
Looking forward to it.
So obviously you've just moved to Berlin, Nina, and before then you were in the UK. You've been based in the UK for quite a while. Would you feel like this is a second home to you? Have you got like a good relationship with your fans here?
Yeah, London's definitely like my second home. I spent most of my adulthood in London. I found myself as an artist in the UK, so it's a very special place for me. Most of my influences growing up were UK bands, and it's definitely like my second home, and I miss it so much. And most of my fans actually are UK based, so it's going to be very special to come to Bristol and play a show there after not playing for so long. So yeah, I just if I'm not going to move back, I will definitely go there all the time to see my friends and play shows and stuff like that. There's always going to be this special connection with the UK, and yeah, I miss it so much.
So we might get you back here one day then.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, because then we can get you to come and play for us more often then. So obviously coming back then to play in Bristol, I know you said it's going to be great to see some of your friends again, but what are you really looking forward to the most, do you think, about playing Hotline Bristol next year?
Well, I mean, first of all, I love the city. I've played in Bristol twice for Bristol Pride. I think it's so warm, and I always have such a good time. I think there's so much energy in Bristol, so much music coming from there. And of course, just playing at synthwave festivals is always so much fun, just because I feel like we all connected in a way. We like pretty much the same things, and just being able to see the fans, it's just going to be amazing. And
Can you tell us like any kind of projects that you're working on in the coming months going forward?
Yeah, I'm doing quite a lot. I'm a workaholic when it comes to music, and I'm working on a few things. I'm working on a special collaborative project with retrowave, who also wrote with me my latest single, Carnival Night. That's very, very special. More about that soon. And my next single's coming out in September. I have a date, but I haven't announced it yet, so I'm gonna just not say that yet, but I'll post about that soon. So my next single is a collaborative thing as well, with Ricky Wild and retrowave. So awesome. It's a very special song. I can say it's called Gold Heart, and more about that soon. I'm also working with a very talented Kid Moxie, who's a very, very talented singer. We share the same label, Lakeshore Records. So we've had EPs coming out with them before, and we met in Berlin. We wrote like 5 songs in 2 days in the studio, which was super fun. So that's gonna come out. And apart from that, of course, I'm working on the next album, the next Nina album. This is very exciting. I'm just trying to push the boundaries and really shake things up, and so I just want to take my time with it. So hopefully it'll come out maybe like mid 2022. But yeah.
So you really are a workaholic then, because you've got absolutely loads on at the moment.
Yeah, I never stop, and it's actually hard because I'm one of those people that I'd love to kind of just say yes to everything, and I don't really like to say no to things. So it's been a bit hard just because there have been so many interesting collaborations coming in, and I've had to just say no to a lot, and it's just like, oh, I really want to do everything, but it's just impossible. And but maybe there will be more time next year or something. I just really want to try, and the live show, the new album, and things like that. It just requires time, and you want to really just not do it quick and half-hearted. So yeah.
So I guess maybe I just wanted to ask one last thing before you go. Obviously, now that you are back in Berlin, are you planning to play some shows over there as well, and get back into things there?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a show mid-December, and that's here in Berlin. So that's going to be special. It's always nice to play in the city you were born in, and that's just after my Ollie Wright gig in London. So hopefully I'll be all rehearsed well, and it's definitely very exciting. But yeah, I think for next year there will be a lot more shows in Germany here, and just seeing if there's maybe a booking agent. That's probably a clever thing to get at some point.
Well, if they see this, hopefully someone will see this and get you sorted out.
Yeah.
Book me.
Oh, that's great. Well, look, it's been really, really lovely to catch up with you. We're really, really excited to have you with us next year. And it obviously it's been delayed quite a lot since it was originally booked in for. But it's getting nearer and nearer now. So we're just going to be, super excited to get to see you again and have you play for us.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
I can't wait. It's going to be so exciting, especially since everyone is going to be so hungry to party, and it's going to be so much fun. So I really can't wait to see you guys, and yeah, just have a good time, really.
Great. Right, we'll see you soon then.
See you soon.
Bye.
Hey, this is Nina. I'm so excited to play Hotline Bristol next summer, and I can't wait to see you all there.